What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. But today's story time is about some people that definitely didn't have themselves a great time. Apparently, there was this group of friends that were like family friends because their parents were close. And one of their moms ended up convincing everybody's parents that video games cause violence, so they got everything taken away for quite a long time. Overall, just a 0 out of 10 experience, but I figured it'd make a good story time, so be sure to press the like button or you're gonna get pregnant, and let's get into it. Eyes like an eagle, stacking so much money you would think that it's illegal. I'm getting quiet now, laying low when you're rich, so I'm vibing now. Making out, stack the bread, cause you love the sound, just so I'm quiet. Alright, so I think everybody has, like, you know, a kid that they know that's just not a very good kid, but his parents blame everything but him, you know, and I guess the person who sent this in to me had a family friend that was one of those kids. He was just constantly, like, breaking into places, getting in trouble at school, getting everybody else into trouble, just constantly having issues. And his parents just kind of refused to believe it was their parenting or maybe just the kid. And they were looking for basically anything they could to, you know, blame his behavior on it. And since they were all family friends, they would often get together and, like, talk about parenting. And I guess after this kid's recent string of bad behavior, he, had told his parents that it was because he had been playing GTA and gotten inspired by the game. Like, the kid basically would use video games as his scapegoat. My mom and dad won't do anything if they just blame video games and not me for stealing grandma's car. But anyways, his parents, when they had heard that, decided to believe it and were like, oh my god, these video games are turning our children into criminals. Honestly, probably to help them cope better, bro. It's easy to pretend that, like, you know, video games turned your kid evil than to, you know, admit that you're a garbage parent and that's why your kid's out there stealing cars. What's even wilder is the subscriber that sent this in to me said that they were all 11 when this was going down, bro. If your 11-year-old is stealing cars, it's not GTA's fault. I guarantee you that. That is not something that, like, most 11-year-olds get up to after playing games. And even then, your kid shouldn't be playing GTA, but, you know, that's another story. Regardless, the mom went to all of these kids' parents and decided to tell them that, you know, video games were causing violence and were causing her son to have all these violent tendencies and commit all these crimes. And what was wild is, I don't know if y'all can relate to this, but for some reason, moms can find proof of anything. Just because, you know, I don't know how they do it, but, like, they can find some bullcrap article that doesn't make any sense to help themselves feel better at night. And this mom had found, you know, all these BS articles, these BS things saying that, like, video games increase violence and whatnot. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now, I do not believe that video games cause violence in the slightest. You know, sure, I've thrown a controller before, but not once have I ever been playing a game, a racing game, GTA, anything, and been like, you know what would be really awesome? Going out and doing this in real life. Maybe that's just me, but, like, you know, in this gameplay, I'm driving a car like a maniac, crashing into stuff, having a good time. I would never do this in person. You know, I don't actually want to drive at 150 miles per hour into trees in real life after playing the game. I just feel like it's a lot of people that don't want to take responsibility for their actions that love to blame video games if it's their fault, you know? Oh, my kid's a mess and it's video game's fault. No, it's probably your fault, but whatever. She does the mom thing where she's talking to the moms about how horrible video games are and how they're causing all these problems and whatnot. So all the parents come home from hanging out and, like, go to their kid's room and instantly are like, give me your Xbox, give me your games. You're not allowed to play that anymore. It's making, you know, all these kids violent and you're gonna become an awful kid if you keep gaming. And obviously all these kids are mad confused, bro, because other than the one that misbehaved all the time, yeah, they were all gamers, but they stayed out of trouble. Like, they would all just kind of get on Xbox together, the family friends, and they would play Forza. It's actually what made me re-download this game, as the person mentioned it in here. But, like, they were not the type of kids that were on GTA and then running around the streets robbing people. But for some reason, their parents come home and are like, give us your Xboxes and your PlayStation. They're making you violent. And even then, you know what? Fine. I could understand why 11-year-olds shouldn't be playing GTA. I don't feel like there's anyone out there that can make a really good argument as to why 11-year-olds need to be playing that game. But, like, how is Forza gonna cause violence, bro? How is Fortnite gonna cause violence? Like, certain stuff I just really do not understand. But whatever, all these kids get their video games taken away under the guise of it, you know, helping prevent violence and whatnot. And in fact, the person that sent this in to me's parents were like, we're doing this to help out the family friend because their kid's losing their console and we don't want them to feel left out because of all of you guys are still gaming. And I always hated when my parents would do that, bro. Oh, we're doing this so they don't feel left out. Dude, screw them, bro. If I want to play games, it's not my fault he can't behave. Anyways, the family friends end up getting together a little bit later, and everybody is super pissed off at the kid that got all their video games taken away, obviously, because they knew that he was just a nuisance. He had managed to convince his parents, and sure, his mom had convinced their moms, but they all knew that video games were not the problem with this dude's behavior. But whatever, they're just kind of standing there talking to the guy about how he got all their stuff taken away. And, you know, because he's obviously willing to do anything to get out of trouble, he's just like dodging any responsibility, saying that, you know, it's not his fault that video games really do corrupt the mind, and it's not a joke, guys. Video games really do make you violent. And obviously all these kids are aware of the fact that this is bullcrap, and they're kind of arguing him and whatever, and the parents end up coming up to check on it because the argument is getting louder. And when they walk in, the kid who's just constantly misbehaving says that they're all attacking him because they're addicted to video games and just, you know, are so angry that they've got him taken away that they're bullying him and blaming him for their addictions. And all the parents are like yelling at their kids being a nuisance, you know. And from then on, everybody except for the kid that had caused this in the first place is basically like, I'm not talking to you, I'm not dealing with you, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. And they all basically were aware, like unspokenly, that it was a matter of time until this guy went out and did something really stupid again, and then his parents weren't gonna have the excuse of video games, so they were gonna be able to talk to their parents about it. And sure enough, like clockwork, about 2 weeks after all these video games had been, you know, taken away and this fight had happened at this little family party thing, it happens, dude. The parents get a phone call, and it basically comes out that the kid who was frequently misbehaving had obviously gotten himself into a bad situation and had been caught stealing from a store. And when he had been caught, instead of, you know, just giving the stuff back and quietly going with them to get banned from the store, he had decided in his infinite wisdom, all right guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. On screen now is actually a Nintendo gift card. If you want a gift card, I actually give one away every single video here on this channel as a way to say thank you to everyone subscribed with notifications on. So if you haven't already, you might as well subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. And yeah, you don't want to because it's pretty swagtastic. And on that note, I'll let you guys get back to the video. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed with notifications on already, and enjoy. To start swinging on the guy who had caught them, and obviously at that point it goes from you just stealing stuff to you like robbing a place and battery and whatnot. So he had done that, the absolute moron, and wouldn't you know it, he didn't have GTA to fall back on for inspiring that one, dude. So after that, the kids pretty quickly went to their parents and went, see, it's obviously not video games making us violent because he's still an absolute moron who got into trouble. And his parents finally, like, kind of conceded that fact when, you know, oh yeah, the video game ban wasn't doing anything. In fact, if anything, everybody else that had gotten their video games taken away because this dude was a moron were, like, more annoyed and acting worse because their parents had just taken away something they enjoy for no reason, bro. And I will say, honestly, I feel like sometimes parents just don't want to admit that your kid sucks. But if your kid does suck that bad, like, hypothetically, you know, you're in a situation where your kid's out there fighting people that, like, I don't know, tried to stop him from stealing or whatever, it's definitely not video games' fault, bro. Like, oh my god, some personal responsibility would be nice. Yeah, you know how it is. My kid was great. Started playing Fortnite. Next thing I know, he's curb stomping his mother. It was absolutely insane. Like, I just don't feel like that genuinely happened. Anyways, when they ended up getting their video games back, that dude's parents were pissed, and they were kind of asking all the family friends, like, how dare they not support them? How could they do that to them with everything going on? How could they let their kids play video games knowing the damage it had done? And all the other parents at that point kind of came together and told him straight up, like, look, your kid is your problem. It's not our fault that you guys can't control him. It's not our fault that he's always stealing stuff. And I don't really think that my kids playing video games is a problem for them. And they were all pissed. Like, we do things together or we don't do it at all. And listen, that's not how parents, bro. Like, I love the homies, you know. If all the Scuff Boys ever become dads at the same time, it'll be cool. But that's not how parenting works, bro. Each kid is different. If your kid plays Grand Theft Auto and decides to go commit armed robbery, it's because he's a moron. It doesn't mean that no kid should ever play GTA again. I swear, man, adults just don't seem to grasp that concept. Your kid is slightly responsible for stuff he does. So, yeah, they kind of distanced themselves after that, but hey, bro, at least their parents kind of realized that it wasn't their kids being morons. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. I know this was a short one. I've got a long one coming up soon. I do promise you. I just thought this one was gonna be short and sweet and something you guys would enjoy, and if it was, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video. Have you guys ever had a situation like this, known a parent that like tries to parent you when you're not their kid or anything? I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, if you're in the market for some G Fuel, be sure to use code Scrubby at the checkout if you want a little bit of a discount. If you like the intro song, a link to it's in the description down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, and a link to the 2 million subscriber merch. Realistically, guys, I appreciate all the support that's been coming towards the channel recently. It really does mean the world. And yeah, on that note, that's gonna do it for the video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.